So, we're all using AI these days, right? But have you ever stopped to think about what's really going on under the hood when you ask it a question? In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you the two very different minds that power every single answer you get. Let's get into it.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll introduce this whole idea of AI's two minds. Then we'll get to know each one, the super-organized librarian and the messy human town square. After that, we'll see how the AI actually mixes them together. And finally, we'll talk about why this whole process is shaping your world in ways you might not even realize.
Okay, so it all starts with a simple, everyday question, something just like this. I mean, we've all been there, right? You're asking an AI for a recommendation, and you're just hoping for that one perfect, super helpful answer. But to give you that answer, the AI has to consult two very, very different teachers.
Think of it like this. The AI has two main places it goes to for information. On one hand, you've got the meticulous, fact-checking librarian. Think of a place like Wikipedia. And on the other hand, you have the loud, bustling, opinionated town square, kind of like Reddit. Let's go meet the librarian first.
Okay, so this is the AI's bedrock, its factual foundation. You can picture it as this gigantic, incredible library of structured, organized knowledge, and it's here that the AI learns the basic what is of the world.
So what do we actually mean by structured knowledge? Well, think of it as the official story. It's the standardized, factual, canonical information. We're talking definitions, categories, and verified facts. This is the stuff that grounds the AI in reality.
And when we say library, we really mean it. These large language models are trained on just colossal digital collections of information. It's how they learn the fundamental relationships between concepts, objects, and ideas.
And this knowledge isn't just a big messy pile. It's incredibly organized. I mean, just look at this table. This is a real example of how data sets are categorized. The AI doesn't just get a jumble of data. It gets information that's neatly sorted by type and subtype. That's what helps it build such an orderly understanding of the world.
So what's in this library? Well, it starts with the obvious stuff. Just massive, massive amounts of text data. Everything from news articles to product reviews, you name it.
But it's not just text. Not by a long shot. It also learns from literally millions of images, using computer vision datasets to understand what objects and scenes actually look like.
And it goes even further into the world of sound, learning how to tell the difference between speech and music, and recognizing all sorts of other audio cues.
And then it gets into these deeply technical fields, like biological data, learning from things like gene sequences and protein expression levels. The depth here is just staggering.
And here's the kicker. A massive chunk of this factual training comes from places like Wikipedia. In fact, we're talking nearly 3/4 of Wikipedia's content is purely informational. It's the perfect factual backbone for an AI. But facts alone, they're not enough.
Okay, so now let's flip to the other side of the AI's brain. Welcome to the town square. This is where it learns the messy, subjective, and wonderfully human side of knowledge.
I mean, think about it. Just knowing the definition of a project management tool doesn't actually help you choose one, does it? For that, an AI needs to understand context and opinion and preference. It needs to learn from the pulse of human conversation.
And this chart, it shows you exactly what goes on in that town square. Take a place like Reddit. Almost half of all the conversations are either comparative, people debating X versus Y, or they're learning focused. For an AI trying to learn how we think, this is an absolute goldmine.
And you see it in the language people use all the time, right? Questions like these, they're not looking for a dictionary definition. They're asking for guidance. They want the nuance that a simple fact sheet just can't give them.
So this town square data is what teaches the AI all the things the librarian can't. The why. Why do people love this tool but hate that one? What are the real-world pain points? What are those trade-offs you only learn from actually using something?
And this, my friends, is where the magic happens. The synthesis. This is the moment where the AI takes the cold, hard facts from the librarian and the warm, messy feelings from the town square, and it blends them into one single, helpful answer.
So, let's circle all the way back to our original question. Now that the AI has talked to both of its experts, how does it figure this out?
Well, it's a pretty cool two-step dance. First, the librarian mind jumps in. It pulls the hard facts to identify what tools like Asana and Trello actually are. Then, the town square mind takes the stage, analyzing thousands of real conversations to understand the sentiment, the trade-offs, and what people on small teams actually prefer.
So that final answer you get on your screen, It's this amazing blend. It's built on a rock-solid foundation of canonical truth, the facts, but it's shaped and colored by the rich texture of real human experience.
Okay, so why should you care about all this? It might seem a little abstract, but this whole split brain process has a huge real-world impact on the information you consume every single day.
So here are the big takeaways for you. First, just remember that any AI answer you get is a mix of objective facts and, well, subjective human feelings. Second, the truth it gives you totally depends on what's in its library and who's talking in its town square. And maybe the most important thing, your online discussions, your posts, your reviews, you are literally teaching AI how to think.
And that leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. As these systems get better and better at blending verified facts with human feelings, who actually gets to decide what's true? That's something for all of us to think about. Thanks for joining me.